All right. So, um, I know you probably seeing the title and like, why? Why is this the title? I come to this channel for the deep metaphysics. But we're gonna jump right on in because you know what I'm saying, things may I might have to stop the video. So peace. 1214 Epiphany Place. All right, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's story time. Who wants story time? Yeah, yeah. We're gonna jump in. Two people, five people, we're gonna jump in, man. I'm saying they like, oh, this nigga been to jail. Okay, so I'll just say, so what had happened, there's gonna be a long story short or a short story long, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So, all right, boys and girls, let's do it. So basically, the camera's probably gonna be tweaking because of the color scheme that I got going on. I don't know how if I could change that. Should I change it or should I leave it? Let me see something. Hold on a second. Fuck it. And we're still tweaking. Okay, so look. So I was about 18. I was like 18. Yup. I was eight. Yeah. Yeah, I was eight. I was 18. And what had happened was um my mom had left to go take care of my aunt because my aunt was um dying and or she was very ill, you know. So she left me um to kind of fend for myself, you know what I'm saying, for the greater good of the fam, right? And so I was fending for myself, being a very obedient kid. You know, I wasn't wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, uh, but in order for my mom to keep the housing, I had to be enrolled in school because I was over the age of 18 or whatever the case was, right? And I didn't enroll in school fast enough, and my mom pretty much lost the housing. Now, she was just like, "Hey, you know, I didn't expect this, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do. Um, I'm gonna have to stay somewhere temporarily. So, you're 18 now, you're grown, so you're gonna have to figure it out." So I was like, all right, cool. So I kind of in I slept in a car on the block. So I slept in the car on the block with three of my other partners. You know what I'm saying? Because we was all kind of like doing bad, same age on the block. On the block though, I lived on the block. We was on the block, whatever. So I did that for about a week or so, and then my partner at the we'll change the names to protect the innocent. So my partner Scarfo at the time, right? My partner Scarfo. I look rough, huh? I look rough. Don't trip, don't trip. I'm doing all this on purpose. I'm gonna woof out. So my partner Scarfo, he was like, mom said come over to the house, whatever. So I started staying with my partner, and then we had some cats from EPA that lived in the apartments where we was living at, and they was older than us, right? And if you know anything about East Palo Alto, and the cats that live in East Palo Alto, they're they about that life. You know what I'm saying? What they life like, you ain't gotta ask them twice. You know what I'm saying? And anyways, they had to jug on that good cream, that white stuff, or no, that tan stuff, that yellow, that yay. You feel me? So they had the real super jug on that, and the jug just means they had it in abundance to give you a lot for the low, right? So I never really was a dope seller like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I may have sold a little tree. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't like that. Just because of the way that I grew up, I seen a whole lot of drug abuse and things like that. So I knew the effect that it had on families and how it, the effect that it had on people. So, anyways, I seen my partner make about $90 in about 2 minutes. And you know what I'm saying? That was like really alluring. And remember, I'm homeless, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much for the most part. And um I I said, hey, why not? You know what I'm saying? If this dude could do it, because he didn't really have that much of a hustle bone in his body, I felt, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, because he wasn't like that either. But I seen him make like $90 in 2 minutes. So I'm like, well, if he could do it, I mean, I'm really from the mud, so I know I can do it, right? So, anyways, I took a little $40 that I had and I doubled up. What a double up is means you purchase some of that tan for a certain price and you get pretty much double. You make double the money. So, um, and none of this is something to be glorifying. I'm just, giving you a story, a little in brief sneak peek to my life, right? So, you ask me, well, why this nigga got on gloves? He finna do something right now. Nah. So, what's that? Some powder. So, anyways, at the time, I had long braids, right? My braids was long, like bam, I was banging on them. And I cut my braids off, like, you know what I'm saying? I had a little baby fro. So this is, I was living in Hayward at the time, you know what I'm saying? Hayward, California, right? And then, so I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I got this haircut, man. I'm gonna have to start getting my haircut at a barber shop. So I started to go to this barber shop in the town. The town is Oakland, for those who don't know. So I started going to Oakland to get my haircut. I know this is a long story, right? I'm almost to the jail part. Don't worry about it. So at the time, I don't have no car. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding a bike. So I get on the bike. I get on the BART. The BART is like our equivalent to the subway. The BART is like, it's a train. You know what I'm saying? So just like how New York got subways, out here in the Bay, we got the BART, right? So I get on the BART with my bike, bam. Get off at Fruitvale Station. Ironically enough, right? Get off on Fruitvale. And I'm striking up the street, right? Now, the whole time, I got two rocks in my mouth, right? And that's where you kind of keep it, you know what I'm saying, in case the boys hit you, you can quickly swallow it or whatever, get rid of it, whatever. So, they bagged up, whatever. So I'm riding down the street and I'm like, man, these rocks is getting real soggy in my mouth, man. Remember, I'm not really no grinder like that. So it's funny, right? So I'm like, man, let me put these in my pocket. Whatever. Striking up the street. Whatever. Hit a corner, whatever. Now, all I know is all of a sudden, hey, did I tell this story before? I told the story before? Let me know. So, okay. I'll get to the point then. So, boom, the police hit. Bam. No, there's a real. I have a point. So bam, 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 bam. Police hit me. Now they hit me, and then they like, we got a call of a robbery suspect. I'm like, a robbery? And they're like, yeah. And you fit the description. Apparently, I fit the description. Right? So, boom. So they like, you got any drugs, weapons on you? I'm like, nah. Mind you, I put the rocks in my pocket. So they go in my pocket. Well, Mr. Jenkins, what do we have here? I'm like, oh shit, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're gonna have to cuff you and take you down. So they cuffed me and took me down. Now, here's the thing, right? So I get to it's like city jail, I guess. I didn't go really to the county, so it's like what they call, no, actually they called it West County or something like that in West Oakland. So I get there and they process me, whatever. So now I'm in the jail. My bunkie, he like, yo, this your first offense? I'm like, yeah, it's my first offense. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh, okay, well just tell him that you smoked the rocks. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just tell him I smoked the rocks. He said, yeah, they gonna give you drug diversion, man. You gonna get out. They gonna OR you, you gonna get out. Now this motherfucker was younger than me, so I don't understand how he knew all this shit. He must have been here plenty of times before. So he like, yeah. So I'm like, all right. While I'm in there, I'm seeing the most craziest shit, you know what I'm saying, that I've never seen before. So it was this fat dude. So basically it was a sweep. They just swept the whole city and just picked up just random motherfuckers or whatever, right? So it was this fat dude in there in the intake or whatever. And he had hella bags of heroin under his folds and shit. Hella bags of heroin under his folds. Of his fat. He was so fat, he tucked the drugs in his folds, So I was like, okay, that's crazy. And then he told this one Dolphin dude, he was like, hey man, swallow some of these baggies, man. Swallow some of these baggies, I'm gonna get them from you later. So the Dolphin dude, he swallowed the baggies. Boom, because they in the intake. Now, a couple days later, it could have been a day. Matter of fact, it was a day. A day later, all I know is they was asking the Dolphin dude, yo, where the dope at? Dolphin dude like, I don't know, I ain't shit it out yet. Nigga, you lying. We seen you go to the bathroom hella times. He like, nah, man, I ain't shit it out yet. So the fat dude must have had hella his people in the jail. So he called a shot. They whipped the Dolphin dude super tough, man. Didn't bad. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen no brutality like that at that point in time in my life, man. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. So, whatever. So that was like day 2, right? So then, the next day, I'm sitting in the little chow hall where you eat your food and shit. So I'm eating the food. Then this big ass swole dude walk up to me and he like, hey, that's my seat. Now, mind you, I am spooked and scared. But I know I'm in jail. And I can't show that shit. I was like, oh, for real? Oh yeah, well that's cool. I kept eating my cereal. And luckily for me, that was enough to get this big ass nigga off me. So he dipped out. Boom. All right, cool. So, long story short, wrapping it up, because I got a point to all this. So, when I get to go see the judge, right? The judge is like, yo, Mr. Jenkins, seems like this is your first offense. You know what I'm saying? And what we're going to do is we're going to give you drug diversion. And what drug diversion is where you got a P test twice a week. So I had to P test twice a week. Mind you, I ain't got no car. I don't know how I'm going to do this, right? Got a P test twice a week. I got to go to a Narcotics Anonymous class twice a week. And I got to see my probation officer once a week and piss test. Right? Right, yeah. Narcotics Anonymous, yup, and piss test, right? So, and do a drug diversion class too. So, he was like, if you do this for a year without any hiccups, you won't have a felony on your record. You know what I'm saying? And you complete the course, and you won't have any felony on your record, and you won't have any probation, no, none of that. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, at this time, I moved from Hayward to another suburban area in the Bay Area, and I got a job, and I had to take the bus and BART to the job overnight. The job was overnight, and I would have to get on the bus and BART to go to the drug diversion classes. I would have to get on the bus to go to the Narcotics Anonymous class. I would have to get on the bus and BART to go see my probation officer and all that. And that was a lot. I'm 18 years old, and I'm working overnight, stocking and shit, and traveling back and forth. Sometimes I would be so tired, I would fall asleep on the train and end up in a whole nother city. And it would take me all day just to get home, to change, and just to go back, you know what I'm saying, to go to work overnight. And sometimes I would still sleep in the car where my partners were still, you know what I'm saying, staying and sleeping and shit. Did that for a whole entire year. I paid all my dues, I paid all my restitution. And when I got in front of the judge and shit, you know what I'm saying, after I finished the whole course and everything, he was just like, you know, Mr. Jenkins, you ought to be proud of yourself, you know, because not too many people finish this course. Not many at all. So, you know, you should really, really pat yourself on the back, man. You really, really did a good job. So, I don't have no record, right? I don't have no record. And felt good. Felt real good. You know, I learned a lot from that. You know what I'm saying? I learned, one, I'm not a dope dealer. I learned, two, that I could do whatever I put my mind to, right? But the reason why I'm even bringing this story up, apparently, for the second time, is because I always have had this vision of me being in prison and doing time. And I don't know where this vision is. I don't know where it stems from. I'm not a criminal. I've done some pretty foul shit. But I'm not like, you know, a lifetime criminal like that. You know what I'm saying? And but this vision is so vivid, because even in the vision, I'm in prison, but I'm there with a purpose. I'm there to kind of teach people and to free their minds while they're locked up. And it's too vivid. And as I pondered on this thought of me being in prison, and I pondered on, you know, what actually happened to me in this timeline, and me understanding now about the timelines and how they jump based off of your decisions that you make, I realized that vision of me being there was a timeline that I avoided being in this timeline. Because remember what I said in the video, a couple of videos back, that there's these little portal holes, and these portal holes are conduits to other timelines. Trust me, the timeline video is coming, so I could draw this shit out for you, so you can understand. And these portals all are connected by the fifth dimension. So me having this vision so vividly makes me realize that was a choice that I escaped by making a right when I should have made a left somewhere along the line. Of course, we can all say that, yeah, we've all ducked and dodged certain outcomes. That's true. But what I'm saying is, I have connection to the other timelines. You see what I'm saying? Like, apparently. And what I'm saying is, this is where you get um, a lot of knowledge from that you didn't necessarily have in this concurrent timeline that you're in now. Like I said, this is where deja vus come in. This is where premonitions come in. This is all based off of timelines that you are kind of glitching out and finding access to. We're not supposed to have access to these timelines, but sometimes you do. Especially what I'm starting to see is indigos, you know what I'm saying? And these new rainbow children as well. I think there's something that has to do with that. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah, because even in the vision, I'm still me, but the scenario is totally different. So it's like I'm still me here doing the same thing with you guys. In the vision, I'm doing that there. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Hit you with the SETI. Uh oh. Ebony Wangia says that she had a similar experience when she jumped timelines. Now, this is my point. I asked of the fellow dots that if anyone has um, any experiences like this, to please reach out and contact. You know what I'm saying? Because um, I me being cognizant of the timelines and at this point of how strong I'm cognizant of them is it's not worrisome for me, but I need to compare notes so I can do a very thorough, in depth presentation on the subject. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of people have reached out so far, and I'm happy for those that have. I appreciate you. I do. Um, but yeah, so I liken all of this tapping into these timelines the way that I have to past life regression. It's the same thing, but we kind of we take that phrase with a grain of salt when we talk about past life regression. Like Total Recall. See, Total Recall was a fast movie. Um, the original one, Ronald Schwarzenegger. It was super super deep. What do you what do you win? What? What? I'm trying to bring the chat up. When you keep jumping from tip of lines to experience the same results, that's not possible. You can't jump from different timelines and experience the same results. Because even if a timeline seems similar, it's not. It's not. Because just like I had mentioned in I think it was the time, space, and dimension video, that say this is the third dimension, right? And you got the third dimension, you got 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, and probably even levels in between that you can experience a line, and don't look at lines as um, congruent or parallel. They can be anything. They can be, all kind of ways, right? But the thing is, though, even if they're close enough in proximity, your experience may look the same, but um, it's not the same. There might be slight differences. You know what I'm saying? Like slight. Like, but here's the thing: You won't. Most people don't even know that they've switched the timeline. That's it's designed for you not to know. You won't know. Like for example, this timeline. The only reason why I even got all of this information of, and wait till I give you the presentation on how it works. The only way that it's possible for me to even know this is if I realized how to do it successfully and I became a jumper. Because once that happened, all my existences on all the timelines became aware of how to do it. So me on this timeline, I haven't done it because I'm still living like this, right? But I know it. So however I did it in whatever timeline that I was successful and understood made me tap into all of this now, and I'm just sharing it. I don't, I don't. AJ of 901, Ricky and Morty explain timelines. That's the whole thing. I don't watch TV like that. I've never even watched Rick and Morty. That's a cartoon, right? So I think that's the cartoon. So people be saying, "Oh, you need to watch this, watch this." I don't know, and it's funny because when I have came across some shit, I'm like, oh, like for example, that's how you know that people know how to do this shit because it's out there. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's a game called the Universe or some shit like that. And on the game is made for you to type in any action and then um, give yourself a choice, and then it shows a fork of what you could have did. It pretty much is exactly the drawing that I did when I first started to explain this shit to myself. So the thing is, though, this ain't like uncommon knowledge, really. You know what I'm saying? But there is something that propels you to do it, to actually do it, and it takes a lot of willpower. So for the last three 3 months, I've been trying to harness enough energy to change this one, but it takes a lot of energy. And someone asked me, well, what are you using for your energy source to jump the timeline? And so far, I've just been using the sun and the moon. I think that those are probably the most consistent energy sources. But again, to do it is very, very draining because it's kind of like going Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really know what that is. I've just heard about it, from Dragon Ball Z. I never watched Dragon Ball Z. So it's like, so you got to kind of just build up this energy. You know what I'm saying? And what I've learned is abstaining from sex, abstaining from sex, abstaining from not just sex, but you know, playing and shit, and all that. Like retention, it helps because I noticed when I started to retain and when I started to keep my thoughts pure and when I started to really, really focus and really try to find a sense of happiness, right? Trying to find a sense of center. I noticed I started seeing my manifestations start to kind of like click, 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 click. That's another sign that you're jumping timelines because that's all a manifestation is. A manifestation is a timeline jump. That's all it is. See what I'm saying? It's just a timeline jump. We think that we're on the same timeline, but we're not. We jumped. Oh, I manifested something. You jumped. So they might be small. It could be small. It's not. These jumps are not huge things. You know what I'm saying? Because somewhere in some timeline, you're a rock star in some timeline, right? So it exists. If you think it, if you have the thought of it, it exists. Period. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I told the whole story about the gel things because I just put two and two together. Like, oh, this vision is something. It's not just something, and it probably came from this timeline that I'm in, a choice that I made then to not pursue a certain career, to not pursue a certain lifestyle, to, and oh, you know what? Now that I'm even thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about it, I felt, I felt it. I felt that shit. I felt it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I I felt the turn in my timeline. Wow, that's crazy. I never really tripped about the actual decisions and how I felt. And that's the key. That's the key. Once you learn how to map out the timeline jumps or choices of your very own personal timeline, right? You'll start go back and start to try to remember the feelings. And it's imperative to do that because once you start to remember those feelings, you'll start to become aware when you feel them now. And you'll be more cognizant on the choice. I guess they call it going with your gut. You see what I'm saying? That's what going with your gut is. I'm just looking at all this shit. Ooh, that is an excellent question. You know what? And I actually was thinking about that the other day. Ebony Wangia. Oh, if I'm butchering your name, I'm so sorry. She says, "What's the difference between jumping timelines and time travel?" Absolutely fucking nothing. It's all the same shit. So jumping timelines or quantum jumping or uh, time shifting is the same thing. We need to stop looking. Uh, um, we have to stop looking at quote unquote time travel as the movies because in all essence, right? And I'm gonna damn. So I'm giving you the fucking okay. Listen, if I'm telling you shit in this video and you hear it in the video when I'm explaining everything, don't get mad, okay? Because look, here's the thing: the time travel is mental. It's all connected. Just because the universe is mental, it's all connected here first before it manifests physically. And the reason being is because each of those holes, each of those little holes, those major holes or those big holes, are those holes connected is really the fifth dimension. It's really what the fifth dimension look like. So all of those holes or whatever is the fifth dimension. So you can call them portals. So that is the travel. You know what I'm saying? So just like how you have the portals while in your current timeline, you have portals in the future, right? But it's all connected here mentally. You have portals in the past and it's all connected here. We call them memories or deja vu. So the deja vus are the ones that are connected in the future to here. And the memories or regressions or past lives are the ones that are connected from here to the past. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes it, if I'm even explaining it right. If I drew it, oh yeah, the drawings is coming. Okay? Don't even trip. If I drew it, then you can probably visualize it a little bit better. Um, damn, I look stupid rough out here in these streets. Don't worry, I'm just woofing out, man. Look, you see the little woof right there? I'm woofing. I'm woofing. I'm woofing. It's what not way, but you could. Oh, my bad. It's what not way. What year? One year. Oh, 1 year. Okay, that's dope. 1 year. I like that. You remember feeling you never wanted to be in the same. shithole like jail again. Anna says, same shithole like jail again. Yeah, yeah, I guess that was probably one of the choices too. Yeah, so again, I think it all boils back down to gut feelings. Gut feelings is when you're knowing that you're at a hole or a portal hole. Yeah. And and mind you, when you're feeling that gut feeling or hole, there is no right or wrong. There's no such thing. There's just paths. You see what I'm saying? They're just paths. Okay, here I go again. This is supposed to be a very quick video. I'm supposed to tell the jail story quickly. I guess I forgot how to tell stories quick. I guess that shit went out the window. I gotta go get my laundry out the nasty ass fucking public washing machines. So I'm gonna have to cut this live. Again, always a pleasure. Love y'all. That's why I got the gloves on. 'Cause I ain't trying to touch none of that shit in there. Fucking around. Just bullshit. 1214 Epiphany Place says the Terminator and the Matrix. Crazy, right? John Connor. Hey, yeah. I think I posted on Facebook about the Sophia Stewart said that John Connor is Neo. Sophia Stewart said when she wrote The Third Eye, right, which the Terminator and the Matrix series were based off of, that she says that um, JC, which is the Jesus Christ figure, which is John Connor, which is actually Neo in the future. So basically, as John Connor is time traveling, he actually is Neo in the future because he's traveling. That's a very interesting take on the Matrix and the Terminator movies. That's fucking fire. Thank you, Epiphany Place, for reminding me about that. That's fire as fuck. Matrix Neo was in that TV room plenty of timelines and other timelines, but was again faced to choose to save Trinity and Zion. Okay, now I'm going to say this, and like I said, when I do the presentation, I hope y'all watch that video because I'm kind of telling you already now, right? But yeah, so just like in the movie The Matrix, when he was in front of the architect, right? And Neo may be the architect too, but we're not gonna go there. So um those were timelines, and you see how he was the same but very slightly off, and that's like to what Anna's point is. You know what I'm saying? That you're not really experiencing the same thing over and over. It seems that way. It's up to you to make that slight tweak, and you know what I'm saying? Damn, I look rough. That's crazy. That slight tweak, and then yeah. Another thing is this though too. So the major holes on your timeline, like the life hole and the death hole, they're already there. Those holes are already there. They don't move. You're kind of traveling towards them. You see, the reason why this is because you have the microcosm and you have the macrocosm. How do we know this? Because we look at the macrocosm of or a microcosm, depends on how you look at it, of a black hole. A black hole's here, a black hole's here. There's universes in between them, and this is what causes time because they're either coming out of this black hole and going into this black hole. That's what makes things move. Remember, time is only based off of movement. What creates movement in time? Gravity. See, if you've been watching my videos for a few years, right? Or if you binge watched all of them, or some of them, dude, I'm actually talking about the same shit. You know what I'm saying? There's reasons why I'm making the videos. They're, you know what I'm saying? Unbeknownst to me at the time, I don't know. I'm just making them, but they're just little pieces of one whole thing. So I made the video about the gravity for a reason. I made a video about the black holes for a reason because it's understanding. I'm having pieces of understanding to get to this point, to get to understanding timelines. You see what I'm saying? So the progress is there. You see the work. The work's there. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So, but just like how that's the macrocosm of the black holes, same thing with the holes in your timeline of birth and death. They don't really move, right? The question is, who created them? Right? They don't really move, right? But no matter what your timeline is or what you do or to change your timeline, you end up in a death thing. It's kind of like Final Destination. You know what I'm saying? That's probably where they got that from. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you do, you're going to end up on this day and time, date and time. On this date and time, you're gone. You're exiting. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what. So that's something else to kind of, keep in mind too. I don't know if you said this before I said it, but LT said it exactly. Right, the gravity videos. Right, exactly. Yep. All right, y'all. That's me feeding the algorithm. Okay, I'm just feeding the algorithm. Okay, I'm trying to do this right. Trying to be consistent. I know that's a big complaint. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm gone. You already know the drill. Peace.